Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 5th video here on Ty Drives. My name is Ty behind the camera, and this is the 2021 Volvo XC40 in the Inscription trim level. And in this video we're going to take a walk around the outside of the car. We're going to pop the hood, see what it looks like underneath the hood. Then we'll go around back to the trunk and make our way forward to the interior, starting with the rear seats and moving forward to the front seats. And at the end of the video, I'm going to strap this GoPro on my head and we're going to take this thing for a drive. But without further ado, let's get into what makes this XC40 an XC40. And let's start up front with the headlamps. Now, full LED headlamps for both your high and low beams, your turn signals, and daytime running lights, and they look really cool when they're illuminated, so take a look. You also have headlight washers for this car and some LED fog lamps too down below. We have parking sensors running the span of the front bumper, and also a unique grille for the Inscription, so you kind of get these chrome bars that run down like that. Pretty neat styling cue so that you could tell an Inscription from any of the other models. And we also have a 360-degree view camera. You can see the front camera right there as part of the advanced package. Shorter hood with some nice creases at the side. And if we take a look down below, it's the reason why I chose to do this particular car, because it has these crazy 21-inch optional wheels, about $3,500 extra. So I can't imagine that there'd be too many of these XC40s with these wheels. But these tires measure up at 240/540. Again, 21 inches, very stylish wheels. Disc brakes, of course. And pay attention to all the black plastic that runs the span of the wheel arches and down the side. Kind of gives it a little bit of a rugged look. We have chrome surrounding the bottom of the windows. Taking a look up top, we have the roof rails and the panoramic roof. We also have blind spot and the LED turning indicators on the mirrors. Smart key on all 4 door handles. Really a pretty good looking wheel on this car. It definitely sets it apart from the rest of the XC40s on a lot. Pretty much full LED tail lamps back here, so the brake lights, tail lights, all those are LED. The only thing that's not is the turn signals. We have a bunch of badging back here. T5 all-wheel drive is our powertrain option. And we also have the reversing camera underneath and the trunk release as well. Also parking sensors back here too. So opening the very large, almost clamshell hood reveals a 2-liter turbocharged inline 4, good for 248 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque. And as you can see, they put a big engine cover on there, but you can see various components underneath the hood. See that they put the battery up here, and there's various fluid reservoirs that you could check and add fluid to. And there's also lots of insulation, as you can see the seals and the insulation in the back, and that is to keep the noise from intruding in the cabin from the motor, and it definitely works pretty good. And the hood latch is all the way over to the right. Alright, so the deck lid is fully powered on the XC40, as you can see. Just press the button on the key fob and it'll pop right up. Or there's also various other buttons around the vehicle to do that. Once you pop the trunk, it's not an enormous amount of space since this is the XC40, Volvo's smallest SUV, but it is plenty of room. So they give you a good amount of passenger room and a pretty good amount of storage room for the trunk. You can see you have a cargo cover too that you could remove up there. and you can fold down the seats 60/40, and then there's also a little pass-through right there. You have a nice all-weather cargo liner, all-weather cargo mats. And taking a look underneath the load floor, we have some extra storage underneath and a spare tire. To close the trunk, we have a couple of buttons up here, one to lock the vehicle and close the trunk, and one to just close the trunk. And hopping into the rear seats. Now the rear door's got a pretty neat design on the XC40. As you can see, you have this sort of angle up here, like a sort of obtuse triangle sort of shape, and that gives the outside door a really neat shape, as you can see. But back to the inside of the door, you have your door handle, lock button, window switch, a couple of speakers here, and some storage. Nice tan colored interior too, and you could fold down the seats with that lever there. Very solid rear doors to this car. And sitting back here, as you can see, I've got plenty of room too. So just about a couple inches of space. I'm 5'10" and I adjusted the seat to a normal, comfortable driving position for myself before I got in. You have a couple of air vents back here, 2 heated seat controls, and also 2 USB-C chargers. Very small tri-drain hump, so if you needed to, you could probably fit a third person back here. And you also have a fold-down armrest with a couple of cup holders. Really neat headliner, neat material for the headliner, I should say. It's kind of like this off black kind of knitted headliner. It's a really neat looking headliner. And as you can see, the panoramic moonroof continues nicely. In ratio to the headrest, it's pretty large roof. And finally, the front cabin. So materials up here are very nice. You have soft touch leatherette all the way over here, and it's also pretty soft to the touch down below where this big storage area is. And take a look at that carpeting that's all the way around the door panel. Really neat look. There's not a whole lot of cars around that have that look to it. You also have this beautiful open pore driftwood as an accent on the door. You have 2-person memory, nice Harman Kardon stereo system. You have your heated and power folding mirror controls, lock unlock buttons, and window switches too. Very nicely styled air vents in this vehicle. You have one of them on the left of the dash. You also have gauge dimmer, trunk release right there, have the pedals down below, and the hood release as well. And then, as you can see, underneath the steering column is your release for the tilt telescoping steering wheel. Have pretty much fully powered seats on this car too, as the Inscription gives you these really nice seats here with the contrast stitching. You also have thigh extensions, 4-way lumbar, and the rest of the controls are powered. Alrighty, and here's the key fob for the XC40. Fairly standard new style Volvo key with the buttons on the side. So you have lock, unlock, trunk release, and panic alarm on this side. But pretty nice key. There's also a physical key in there too. If you switch this, the top would slide off, and there's a physical key in there in case you need it. But of course, this car has push button start, buttons right here. And getting straight into it, you have this pretty nice steering wheel here. Now, it's really reminiscent of a lot of the other Volvo products. shut this climate control off so you can hear me. And it's just a really good looking wheel. All leather wrap stitching on the inside, nice metallic accents, and nice airbag cover as well. But as far as functionalities go, you have all of your adaptive cruise control settings on this side, and more of all your media controls and some controls for the screen up there in the instrument cluster. So we have audio volume, then skipping between your tracks and voice commands, and then this button here to kind of configure the screen up there. Now, it's not totally configurable like a lot of other cars in this segment are. Well, I shouldn't really say this segment, but I should say compared to other brands. But they do give you a few different things that you could check with your trip, your media, phone, and navigation. So once you have a destination set in the navigation system, there will be a little map in the center that displays your nav, so that's nice. Upper dash is a very nice material. You even have a center channel speaker up there. It's more of a soft touch, nice grain material. And we have the Volvo Sensus system like in every other Volvo nowadays. Nice large vertical style touchscreen, and pretty much everything is routed through the touchscreen, including your climate control. So we could pop up a couple things quickly. We have the map there. You can also expand it like so. You have the home button at the bottom. You have our radio, phone screen, and kind of some vehicle information. Then you could swipe to either way to get more information. So we could turn the auto start stop on and off. As you can see, automatic parking, park in, park out, cornering illumination. You could turn all of that things on and off. You can even fold the headrest. So nice party trick on these Volvos. If you have some people in the back that you don't like, and they're blabbing on and on about something, you just press that button and then get a nice little slap in the back of the head. Going back to home, we could swipe over to the right, and we have various media controls. So if you want to switch to Bluetooth, all of your different sources for the radio, and controls for your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You can also swipe from the top. As you can see, you have system settings, the electronic owner's manual, and at the bottom we have the climate control screen. So once we turn it on, we have the defrosters up top where you want the air to blow, fan speed over here, and temperatures off to either side. And you also have 3-stage heated seats for both the driver and passenger up front, and 3-stage heated steering wheel as well. Taking a look down below, we have a small array of buttons. You have your hazard, quick defrosters button, and some various media controls. And lastly, a drive mode select. So you have 4 different driving modes: comfort, dynamic, eco, and they even give you an off-road mode. Pretty neat. A little bit of storage down below with a wireless charging pad. You have a 12-volt power outlet and 2 normal USBs. Little storage cubby here to maybe put change and whatnot. And taking a look back here, you have a couple of cup holders, the electronic parking brake and auto hold, and you also have this beautiful Auraforce crystal gear selector, and this is exclusive to the Inscription model. So really nice electronic gear selector. Pretty much just have your foot in the brake and follow the shift pattern. So up is for reverse, and if we close out of the climate control, it will bring up the cameras. So we have the reversing camera up now, and we also have the 360 view, and you can tap on wherever you want to see the view and it'll pull up for you. And you also have various things to turn off your parking sensors and the cross traffic alert. Then you can also choose to auto park the car from that screen as well. And going 2 bumps down into drive, kind of 1 bump up, I made a mistake before, is into neutral, and the second bump puts you into reverse. Then you have the P there for park. Now this car has some pretty innovative storage ideas, at least unique ones instead. You have this little, I guess you could say it's kind of like a garbage can, so you can put your garbage in there. You lift the center console up and remove it and empty it out. So that's a really cool storage solution. Or you could just remove it all together and just have one huge storage console. But really unique storage solutions in this car. Opening up this center console, you have plenty of space in there too. Continuing on with the storage is the glove box, and it's a decently sized illuminated glove box, and you even have a shelf system up there to put extra things. The rear view mirror is auto dimming, frameless, has a compass in it, and the garage door openers as well. You have some SOS controls and Volvo on call button up there, and your lighting controls and the sunroof and sunshade controls. See, we have a black headliner in this car, and opening up the sunroof gives it a very airy feel in this car, and that's kind of what you want in a car at this size. So it's kind of on, it is a smaller compact SUV, and having a panoramic sunroof in one of these cars really does help out. And you use the same button for the sunroof and sunshade. Finally, just a few more things I like to point out. You have a visor with a light and a mirror, and grab handles for all 4 passengers. But that pretty much does it for the features of this car. Let's get this thing out on the road. All right, so now that I have the GoPro strapped to my head, I'm gonna take this XC40 out for a drive. Now, a little overview of what we're gonna do with this car on the drive. I'm gonna first take it down over to this dead end. We're gonna try the turning circle out, then we'll get it out onto a nice 2-lane highway, and we'll see what it's like up at about 40-45 miles an hour. And then lastly, we'll get it up onto some back roads. They're pretty rough New England roads, lots of elevation change and lots of curvy corners too, so we'll get a feel for the suspension and the handling. So, turning circle test. Yeah, it does pretty good. So this is a short wheelbase kind of city-oriented SUV, so it does very nice in a turning circle test. Now, this car does have the large 21-inch wheels on it. So there's going to be a little bit more road noise, a little bit more stiffness to the ride quality. As in traditional fashion with these Volvos, you get a lot of turbo noise, which is pretty awesome. So now that we are up at speeds of 50 miles an hour, it's really quiet in here. More quiet than I would expect with these 21-inch wheels. It's very quiet and it's very comfortable. You can hear a tiny bit of wind noise, but that's to be expected. And as I was pointing out earlier, with all the seals around the front of the engine compartment and the sound deadening, that really does a good job with keeping the engine noise out. I'm gonna pop this thing into dynamic mode really quick, and we'll see what it's like to accelerate up this hill. I'm just keep it in automatic, get up to about 25 and see what happens. Yeah, so this car's got plenty of power. You know, a small car like this, you really don't need much more than 200 horsepower. This one has almost 250. So yeah, really good amount of power, and the 8-speed transmission did a good job kicking down too. You could also put this car into manual mode by flicking the shifter down like so, And then you kind of move the shifter back and forth, as you can see in the gauge cluster. Pretty nasty bump right there that we just went over, and it's not too bad. You know, obviously if you got the smaller wheels you'd feel a little bit less, but the big wheels look cool, and that's why you'd get this car. Not too bad in the handling department either. Obviously the steering is very light, so you don't get really any steering feel from this car at all, but it's not really meant to be a driver's car. Now I must mention, Volvo recently came out with an all-electric version of the XC40 called the Recharge, and we're gonna save that for a totally separate video, so hopefully we get one in soon at the dealership so I could drive one for you guys. So in dynamic mode, it's really holding the revs for me. And you could really feel the short wheelbase when you're going around the corners. But we're gonna pop it back into comfort mode. And this is a pretty rough patch of road coming up here. It's really pretty rutted. And it could definitely use a repave anytime soon if anybody from the state is watching. It soaks up the bumps very nicely, and Volvos are pretty much always known for just being super comfortable cars, and that stays true even with the XC40. Key is rattling around like crazy over here, driving me nuts. You can really hear the air induction on this car. Now, one more thing I wanted to point out, although the steering doesn't have a whole lot of feel to it, the steering wheel just feels really good in your hands. They give you nice notches right up here to hold it like this. But I like to hold the steering wheel like this, and it feels very comfortable. And that's a selling point for me, at least, on a car. You know, if you get a car, the steering wheel just doesn't feel right in your hands, it's kind of a turn off for me. But this is a pretty enjoyable car on the back roads of Connecticut. And we'll give it one more little acceleration going up the hill here. We'll just leave it in comfort mode, automatic, and we'll see what it does. Give it about half throttle. Yeah, this car does pretty good in the power department. Definitely a pretty strong 4-cylinder. So now, having been checking out all the features and taking this car for a drive, what's my take on the XC40? So really great little SUV here. super modern on the inside. You have plenty of features to keep you happy, especially in this loaded Inscription trim level. This car's got quite a few packages on top of the Inscription trim, which is kind of like the most luxurious trim. I believe it's got the advanced package as well as the climate package. So those two add some pretty cool features. So the climate pack gives you the heated steering wheel, heated rear seats, and the advanced package gives you things like the 360 surround sound, or the surround view I should say, with the camera and a heads-up display. So just a really nice car. Again, plenty of features, and it drives great too. You know, I was actually expecting it to be a little more harsh in the ride department, so like the comfort wise on the road. But you know, even with these 21-inch wheels, this car is really comfortable, and it's got plenty of power too, which is one of the most important things for me, at least, having a car with plenty of power, since I'm a little bit of a car guy. But I thank you guys for watching this. I hope you have enjoyed the video, and I hope you stay with us here at Ty Drives for future reviews and drives just like this one.